Welcome back to my little kitchen in beautiful Cleveland, Ohio. Today I'm going to throw an omelet together for you. Very simple omelet. We're going to run through the ingredients as we put them together. I've already put 2 eggs in my bowl. We're going to mince 1/3 cup of tomato. These tomatoes are actually from the grocery store. I didn't have any from my garden. I have one left from my garden at this point. It's not quite ripe. So these tomatoes, they're actually pretty good because they're still in season in the grocery store. These things are, fairly good. They do a good job. Again, you want to mince this. So chop means typically 1-inch cubes. Mince is basically just dice it up like that. That's probably a little bit more than I usually use. You can get away with 1/4 cup. Now we're going to use the fresh basil. Oh, that is unbelievable. I love the smell of fresh basil. Again, we're going to mince this up. Be careful not to cut yourself. That's one thing, if you have access to fresh spices, you definitely want to use fresh spices anytime you can because it just makes it so much nicer, man. So much nicer. So we're just going to dump this inside the bowl. Then we have our fresh mozzarella. I encourage you to use fresh mozzarella. It's so cheap in the store. The brand that I use is from New York. I think it's Bella Gioso or something like that. But this mozzarella is incredible. It has a nice salty flavor to it. Oh yeah. It is fantastic, man. It's so good. So you just want to make these little chunks, kind of break it up by hand. You don't want the chunks too big and you don't want them too small. What this is going to do is this is literally going to melt inside here. So I use probably, I would say probably about a tablespoon to, tablespoon and a half of the mozzarella. And whatever I don't throw in there, I'm going to throw in my mouth. Again, that is absolutely delicious. Now we're going to want to use a little bit of cumin. Now cumin is a very powerful spice, man. You got to be very careful. You just want a couple of little seeds in there, probably like 20 seeds, just to get a little bit of flavor. Every once in a while when you take a bite, you're going to taste that and you're going to be like, wow, what is that? What is that spice? It's going to like jump into your mouth and you're going to be like, amazing. And of course, we got to have salt and pepper. These are the spices. Now, it depends on how much pepper you like. You don't want to use too much. I like pepper a lot, so we're going to put a little bit in there, just a pinch. Salt is key. If you don't have enough salt, it's not going to jump out at you like it should. If you have too much, that's all you're going to taste. And you don't want too much salt. You can always add salt after it's done, okay, but you can't take away. So I just kind of literally know what I need to put in there. That's enough. That was probably like an 1/8 of a teaspoon. So then we're just going to take our whisk and we're just going to mash it all together. We're not whisking, we're mashing, because you kind of want to break that mozzarella down a little bit. You're whisking a little bit, but not really. And I can see, I wish, I'm not sure if you can actually see that or not. I can't tilt it over too much because it's all juicy and it's going to run all over the table. But basically you just want to break the yolks, mix everything up, just mix the ingredients. And it doesn't need that much. Again, you're really just mashing everything together. Now, the key that I've found is when I use olive oil with egg, for some reason it sticks and I don't know why that it sticks. So I've been using vegetable oil and it actually doesn't allow the egg to stick. This is a semi non-stick pan. So in order to flip it, and you're going to have a lot of fun watching me flip it. It's probably going to be a disaster, but basically you need vegetable oil in my opinion, and you don't want to use too much. We're going to use like 2 tablespoons, and my pan is on medium-high heat. That's perfect. So we're just going to swish that around. There should be, you can't see it, but there's definitely a little bit of a wave of excess oil in there, and that's going to again allow the egg to not stick to the pan. And you can hear that thing really sizzle down because that medium-high heat is ready to go. So what's going to happen is we're just going to wait for a second. Right away, you want to make sure that that's loosening up, okay? And I can see it moving back and forth. Now, again, this pan is so hot that it's going to brown really quick, and it's pretty loose on the top still, so when we flip this thing, it could be a disaster. I know that it's getting brown, so the majority of the cooking time is actually going to be on the first side. Then it's going to be really quick on the second side. And I think we're ready to go. This is how quick it is. Now the key to flipping, and I hope I don't screw this up, is really just to push it forward and up and then catch it. That wasn't too bad, but unfortunately it folded under, so I'm going to grab that and try to unfold that front part. At this point, I'm just going to let it go because it's not going to come out. But that wasn't too bad of a flip. I needed to get it a little bit higher, a little bit more forward, and a little bit higher. So what you really want to do is you want the inside to cook, but you don't want it to cook too much. So what we're going to do is we're going to judge the doneness not by the color, but basically by feel. You want it to feel puffy, okay? And the reason you want it to feel puffy is because that egg inside there, you want it to cook, but you don't want it to cook too long. So right there, that's done. To me, that's done. Okay? And I'm going to be non-traditional here. I'm just literally going to throw it right here. I've got the oven off now. And we're going to take a quick bite. And you can see it's a little bit brown on the top, but again, don't worry, the inside is cooked perfectly. This is not a completely cooked through egg. Oh, that is amazing. I think the clouds just parted and the angels started blaring their trumpets. That's how good this is. It's so soft and beautiful inside. Again, you get a little bit of texture from the outside, from the initial side of cooking, because you can see that it's brown, but the inside is just so tender and soft. You have just the right amount of salt on there. And that first taste, I didn't get any cumin, but all the other flavors are just exploding. That is the easiest omelet, and I'm telling you, that is one amazing, explosive flavor profile. Love it.